Everything feels so abstract. Yeah, it's complicated. What you say, the way you act. Well, it makes me so confused. I don't know what to do anymore. Can't you just make up your mind? My heart drops when you play around. How can you be up when I'm down? Don't wanna think about it right now. Maybe you just wanna be friends, but there is a fight when we are talking. Maybe you just wanna pretend, but I can read between the lines. Even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting, still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. How it hurts to see you smile, like a dagger in me. She just seems so juvenile. I just want it to be me. I wanna set your world on fire. Oh, just so sure I'll stick around. Oh, my heart drops when you play around. How can you be up when I'm down? Don't wanna think about it right now. Maybe you just wanna be friends, but there is a fight when we are talking. Maybe you just wanna pretend, but I can read between the lines. Even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting, still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be. Oh, even if I can't deny that all the things you said are hurting, still wanna be with you. I think you want it too. 'Cause baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. No, baby, I don't wanna be. Baby, I don't wanna be.
Well, hello everybody. It is so great to be here live with y'all, and I've been seeing the chat just roll continuously. So I'm excited. I'm excited. It is early morning for most of you there in US. So I'm happy to be spending your morning with y'all, answering questions, showing you the cards from the summit, and just chatting up. So, yes, hello, hello. And I want to say something. I mean, I am really amazed. I have been getting emails that have been coming in telling me how much you've enjoyed the class. So, thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate you taking the time out and letting me know how the class was for you. Yeah, that just made my day. So, thank you so much for that. And before we dive right into the questions, I thought it would be great to just sort of show you the cards. So that is the first and the main card that we've focused in on during the summit. And then there was a second card that was this, where I've just provided the colors that I've used. The technique was same, but just a different color palette. So giving you a look at, how the card is with the bold, vibrant ink colors, and then something just a little muted with the pastel tones. So that's a look at the cards. And yes, I am just so, in case somebody hasn't yet watched the video, in my class, we were exploring ink blending. The products that I have used are from Altnew, and I was showing you how to mix together several inks to create these blends. And just with that, I'm just bringing back the card up, but just with ink blending to create depth and dimension. So, I haven't added any texture paste, I haven't added anything else apart from blending in various ink colors. And that was my idea, to show you how you could, fuse and mix up inks that you have in your stash, regardless of which brand they are from. So, I've used Alt New, I've used Distress inks along with alt new inks, and then I've mixed several color families. So I brought in the yellows, the orange, the red, going all the way down into that deep plum for this card. And I it just gives me good vibes. I mean, color is something I love playing with. And so yeah, that is what we've explored in our class. And I'm ready to roll with any questions you all have. So okay, hi Tracy. What is your thought process for coming up with such unique color blends, please? That is a very tough question, Tracy. So I work intuitively. I've been asked many a times about my color choices and how I pick colors. It's intuitive. I just, so what I do for just picking up colors, I look at the medium that I'm working with, right? So in this case, inks. I go through my stash of inks that I have, be it alt new, be it distress inks. I just look at the colors, and the first question that I ask myself is, what do I feel like today? The warm color palette or the cool color palette. Once I'm down with that, I then go in and pick colors, the shades. I just kind of visualize. I do a lot of visual thinking in my mind, where I'm like, would this color look good with this one? How would that blend in together? Let me try it. Plus, I have said this before, um, in India, we have a lot of vibrant, colorful culture. So I think my inspiration comes from there as well. Our linen, our fabric, our clothing, everything just has a lot of inspiration to offer. So for colors, definitely, I think it just comes from my environment. So I hope that answers your question, Tracy. What is a technique? Hi, Tiffany. So your question: what is a technique that intrigues you but haven't tried yet? Um, making specific, it has to be hot foiling. I have not yet invested in a hot foil system. I don't know why. It just seems really scary. I always wonder, well, will I be able to get that nice foiled impression? So yeah, that is something that I'm really, curious. I love people's results, but I haven't given it a shot myself. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. Hi, Cynthia. Um, how did you get involved in card making? Okay. Um, so Cynthia, I've been a mixed media artist for a decade or so now. And when I dived into the world of mixed media, Tim Holtz was my first, I would say, exposure to distressings and mixed media and all of that. I just started doing multiple things. So apart from card making, I personally enjoy a lot of art journaling. So I used to do art journaling, I would do layouts. But card making, I would say card making challenges. That's where I was like, wow, okay, this is a complete different genre. And that's how I got into it in the first place. Blogs, card making challenges. And my first few design teams as well that I was a part of were card making blog challenge teams. So I think that's my push and entry into the world of card making. And now I try to bring in mixed media, bring in several mediums, and do different things in this, along with, like I said, journaling and other things. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, Tim Holtz was yours too. Yes. Hi, Terry. So in the video you mentioned technique without stencils. Can you give any pointers? Did I mean I'm Can you be a little specific about what part that you are referring to? If you can just let me know what part of the video you're referring to about that, without stencils, then I can answer that definitely. Yes, Cynthia, hi. And are inks your favorite medium, or do you have another one? Oh, um, many mediums. I love watercoloring. I love my Lindy's pigment powders. I love coloring with them as well. So yeah, inks are just one among my several mediums. Hope that answers it. Yeah. Hi, Suzette. How did you get started in the craft industry? Okay, that takes me down memory lane. So I actually am a clinical psychologist and a special educator. My last official job was as a special educator in a school setup, and I was just, I had resigned because the travel was too much for me. And there was this trend then, back then, to gift something to your colleagues. So I wanted to make something and give them. I just wanted to be personalized. And back then, I was into Zentangling a lot. So I had doodled on several MDF bases and made key rings that I had given as just these gifts, for people to remember me. That was how I started. That idea just sparked something, and I was like, okay, I want to explore this further. Plus, my mom is a fine artist, so I've always had exposure to art. So yeah, that was my entry in this world. Hope that answers that question. Okay, hi Terry. So, any suggestions for this look if you do not have stencils for your stamps? Okay. Um, if you want to do the same thing with inks, I would say you just mask smaller portions and still go ahead and ink blend. Depending on, say, like I can show it to you. I use the mini blending tool, right? This is quite a small blending tool, and it gives um, control over your area. So even if you have a nice stamped image, definitely you can still ink blend it. There are detailed blending tools that are finer than this one as well, so you can do it little by little if inks is the medium that you want to use, and still get the same result by blending in different colors uh, at different areas, just kind of eyeballing where you want the highlights, so having the lighter ink tone there, and then going in dark deeper with the deeper colors at other places. And of course, then there are other mediums for which you don't need stenciling. So I'm sure you meant ink blending without stencils. I hope that I got that right. But you can still, like I said, go ahead and do that. Hi, Peapod's Crafty Corner. Okay, noticed you have the color blocks in the background. Do they help you choose your color palettes? Oh, yes, of course. The color blocks definitely do. Um, I wouldn't say I use them always. I think I get the color palette idea. It's something that happens to me very intuitively. Sometimes I wake up and I have this dance of colors in my mind, and I feel like I need to play with those. But the color cubes, I definitely see, kind of just open, randomly pick out a palette when I don't know what I'm doing. I just pick out one card and go from there. So, yeah, they are helpful. Hello, La Sean. I hope I got that right. What advice can you give for someone that never did blending but wants to start? I would say start with one color family. I think that just gets you settled in with ink blending. So, say, pick out colors of a single family. If it's blues, then just pick out light, a mid tone, a darker tone. Begin with that. Practice blending. I think what helped me was blending on backgrounds. So I had started making fun ink blended backgrounds, and that's a larger area, larger surface to work with. You can use your bigger blending tool. Try different color blends first. Like I said, work with one single color family. Again, testing your inks is very important. Depends on the kind of inks you're working with, you will get different results. But I would say starting with just making swatches for your inks is a good practice. Start with just kind of blending each ink color, creating a swatch. That tells you how your inks work. And then start with backgrounds. Like for this particular card, the background of the card is subtle ink blending, right? So just start with something simple like that. And then I would say go into blending smaller detailed areas, stamp clusters. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't have a name here, but have you found a real rose variety that matches your imagination? It somewhat reminds me of hot cocoa roses. No, I don't think I have an answer to that. I haven't found one yet. Nope. Sorry. Hi, Nunu. Okay, so do you have a clear idea of what you're going to do before starting a card, or do you go with the flow? How much you plan a card? I always go with the flow. I don't plan my card too much. I begin with the product. So say in this case, I knew I wanted to do ink blending, so I picked my inks. I then chose the stamp that would work perfectly, and just went from there. Again, I didn't even try the blends. I just started blending the inks on my stamp and going with the flow, seeing how it comes about. After I was done, that's when I was like, okay, what sort of a background will look good for this? And so yeah, in short, intuitively, I go with the flow. That's about it, not planning it. I hope that answers your question. Okay. Hi, Terry. Okay, specific. How do you stay within the perimeter of the stamp? If it's a stamp like this, something like this, and you definitely want to just ink blend, I would say you would kind of have to stamp and create a mask for your stamped image so that you can mask different elements. So I would go about with sort of stamping the entire image and then cutting out the leaves from the mask so that I can mask that. First, just working on the flower, blending that, and then kind of masking the flower with the stamped mask, and then blending in the leaves. I would approach it that way. I hope that helps. Plus, then, even if you've gone outside, you either fussy cut or use a coordinated die to die cut the image. So I think that should work. Hope that helps. Hi, Therese. How do you manage space on smaller cards? Um, in terms of what? If you could just be a little specific, like space in terms of smaller cards, I'm not quite understanding that. Like, do you mean ink blending or do you mean stamping? What would you mean by that? Please let me know. Hi, Tracy. Okay, will these color blends work with other mediums? It really depends. I would say yes, but again, it depends on the medium. Like a watercolor, if it's all wet, the two colors will mix and create a gorgeous blend, but I'm not sure if you would be happy with that sort of a blend. It depends on the medium that you're using. That would be my take on that, but color blends definitely work across a variety of mediums. So hope that answers that. Hi, Michelle. I'm glad you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you so much. And the color combination. So, how do you choose which colors to put together? Okay, I answered this a while ago. I try to sort of, like I said, I first pick the colors, warm or cool, what's the palette that I want to work with. I go from there, and then I begin with what is the lightest on that color family, color frame. So, in this case, say for example, for this card, I knew the lightest would be starting from yellow. And then I had in mind like a deep sort of burnt orange. But while I was blending, I thought the plum would be a perfect addition to add the darkness. So what I did was started with yellow, worked around with yellow going into the orange, a deeper red, and then going into say a little bit of a plum, but a warmer plum, still sticking to my warmer color palette. So that is how I just work around. I see the part of the color wheel that I'm working with. and pick colors from there along the color wheel. So I hope that answers your question. And we have Cynthia. Are there any of your family members that are involved in paper crafting? Do you have anyone that you craft with? Okay, so my mom, like I said, is a fine artist, and both of us started mixed media and paper crafting together. Um, Up until 3 years ago, I was with her crafting together. Then I got married and I moved cities. So now we don't get to craft together that much. But yeah, whenever I'm visiting or she's visiting, we definitely create together. Physically in my environment, no, I don't have anybody to craft along with, but I have this fabulous community, my friends here. So definitely just crafting along people on YouTube live streams, Zoom. Um, I would say that covers up for it. Hope that answers your question, Cynthia. Okay, yes, we are reaching. Yeah, it's time we. I mean, time just flew. That was fast. Erin did tell me time flies by fast. It happened last time as well, but I didn't realize that it was already time to wrap up. So, I have a giveaway running, as you all know, and you can enter the fabulous giveaway from all the sponsors, but I have one too. And I reopened it. I was supposed to sort of end it and draw winners, but I've reopened it because I received a lot of emails. So it will run through the summit and we'll have a winner picked from that. Apart from that, I really hope that you've enjoyed my class, and thank you so much for coming in, chatting. It was great having you all answering your questions, and I'm just browsing through. So thank you for the wonderful comments. I'm just happy to hear that you're enjoying this. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you, everybody.